Torah guardian, speaking the absolute truth. Torah nation.
Shabbat Shalom, Yashar'Al, and Yahudah. Grafted in Gentiles into the body of Hamashiach. We the people of the book broadcast is going down as we do every Shabbat. Listening to none other than the prophet of Yahudah, Hezekiah. The song is entitled Freedom's Win 1.5. Listen, I don't know the rights to this music, but I come with a warning. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Babylon is fallen. You must be born again of the water, the Ruach HaKodesh. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for the great reveal. Yahuwah is trying to wake up Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Yahuwah is trying to wake up these grafted in Gentiles. He's trying to warn you. It's time to flee Babylon. It's time to come out from among her. It's time to stop talking about it and be about it. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, I give you praise. I give you praise for this, your Shabbat, your day of rest, a time to worship, a time to reflect, a time to give you glory and honor, a time to come before your presence. Yahuwah, I thank you today for your Ruach HaKodesh that you have given me, for you have declared that from my belly would flow rivers of living water. You have declared through Yahusha HaMashiach that I must be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, that I must be established in this witness. I must come under the atonement of the water, the blood, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Yahuwah, there's no way around it. And then you told me to tell your people that they must flee Babylon. Yahuwah, I pray right now that you will take the reins of my lips and the reins of my tongue and reign. Yahuwah, I pray that no one be turned out of the way, no one come up lame, no one caused to stumble. Yahuwah, I pray right now the word that you have given me to give to them will cause them to receive life. It will bring medicine. It will bring healing. Yahuwah, I pray that the word that you give to me to give to them, that they would keep it. As Yahusha HaMashiach prayed concerning the apostles. Yahuwah, I pray in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach with an earnestness that you would move by your Ruach HaKodesh. I take authority on the arrest on every every evil, unclean spirit, every evil spirit of distraction, everything that has set itself up against those that you have chosen and tried to hinder this word, tried to hinder this Torah from reaching their ears, from reaching their hearts. I take authority over you. I command you to cease in your maneuvers and activity. Abba, I'm praying that as I pray and declare this word by the exousia, the dunamos, the power, the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, that this will be done in the Shamayim. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, I pray, Yahuwah, that the words that I speak would bring life. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart would be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuwah, I pray. Yahuwah, I'm in this for the witness. I'm in this for the kingdom. I'm in this to bring those that you have chosen a word. Yahuwah, I recognize and I understand this word ain't for everybody, but it's for those that you have chosen to hear it. So I'm praying that they would hear this word and that this word would make the difference in their lives on this Shabbat. And Yahuwah, I pray it in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. Again, the prayers of my mouth, the high meditation of my heart, that it would be acceptable in thy sight, Yahuwah, my strength and my redeemer. Hallelujah. Again, man of Yah, woman of Yah, we've listening to none other than Hezekiah, right? The song is entitled Freedom's Win. We're going to play it again. See, Yahuwah is trying to get his people to understand that they must prepare. You must make ready, because you understand that destruction is coming. You understand that this nation is not going to stand. You understand that you have to make a move. Listen, Yahudah has given you his Ruach HaKodesh. That is more than what you need to get the job done. You have to release your emunah in what you have heard in this witness and understand that it requires obedience. Man of y'all, woman of y'all, listen. Babylon's falling. That whore, that fornicator, she's falling. She's falling. Her kingdom is falling. Everything that she represents is coming down. You have to be sealed. You have to have Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh. You have to have it in order to hear his instructions, to know when it's time and what you need to do. It's real, y'all. My prophet Hezekiah said it's getting real. We made a deal. Hallelujah. Yahuwah, I'm glad that I understand this witness. I'm glad that I understand what comes with being sealed. We see war and pestilence. We need to get in the ark. We need to move into this witness, receive Yeshua, have his Ruach HaKodesh, and have him lead us by this in our exit. Go get you take a piece from the earth. Seal them first. Listen, you must be born again. You must be born again. Repent. Repent. Be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. Yah salvation. There is no other name given unto men whereby they must be saved. Salvation. Well, they must be saved. Must receive salvation. Come back to the covenant. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. You fathers made a deal with Yahuwah. They entered into an agreement. They committed to a covenant. You open the seat. Come back to the covenant. We made a covenant. We made a deal. We made a deal. Are you sealed? Are you sealed? Are we sealed? Have you come back to the covenant, Yashar'Al and Yahudah? Hallelujah. Listen. I love this Aki. All right? You know I do. And I appreciate the word of Yahuwah that he brings forth from this Aki, because it's a due season word. It's a word that's timely, right? So the Most High has just really been impressing on me the need to continue to preach this witness, right? To continue to declare to you that you must be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. This has to happen. Right? Because you ain't going to see Yahuwah's deliverance. You ain't going to see Yahusha's Yeshua. You ain't going to see Yahusha's salvation. You ain't going to enter into his kingdom. You ain't going to even see the kingdom without being born again of the water and Ruach HaKodesh. Listen, we are in a day. We are in an hour. We are in the last days. We are in hours where you going to need the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah to make it. You ain't going to be able to escape this without this witness. Right? Babylon is falling. You need to understand that Babylon is falling. It is falling. Listen, you can't make no home in Babylon. If you are his child, if you have been born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, you should not be trying to establish stuff in this nation. Shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. Right? Because you're going to be fighting for your lives. You're going to be fighting for your property. You're going to be fighting to survive Babylon, right? Because Yahudah has already told us as a nation of people that this ain't our home. We understand that Babylon is slated for destruction. Right? Now, if you have not received Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, then you don't have a clue about this. Right? Yeah, and this right now probably is foolishness to you. Right? But if you have Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, then you've been born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, and I mean born in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, right? Right? Not Jesus, not Yesu, not this earth pig, right? No. You have to be born again of the water of the Ruach HaKodesh and receive the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach. And when you do so, right, Yahudah will give you his Ruach HaKodesh, and that Ruach HaKodesh is a Ruach of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. The Ruach HaKodesh of Yahudah gives the eyes of your understanding this ability to be enlightened. So now you receive understanding and clarity when you go into the Torah, when you go into the Besoros, when you begin to read and to seek him out in the Apocryphas, when you begin to seek him out in Yashar and Enoch and in Jubilees, right? When you begin to read in the lost books and some of these other writings, that ecclesiastics and these other writings, you begin to see line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. The Ruach HaKodesh will reveal to you the pattern of things. It will show you what it looks like. You ain't going to get this understanding in Christianity. You're not going to get this understanding serving the earth pig. You're not going to get this understanding serving Baal. You're not going to get this understanding worshiping on a Sunday. You're not going to get this understanding worshiping Esra, Nimrod. You're not going to get this wisdom, this revelation in that religion, in that pagan, wicked religion. It's not going to happen. You have to come out from among them, right? You have to be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, and you have to begin to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. You ain't receiving no word from you who are eating pork. You ain't receiving no word from you who are eating shrimp. You ain't receiving no word from you who are eating unclean animals, eating unclean things. Yahudah ain't in your temple. Listen. You can't do those things and say you have Yahuwah's Ruach. You don't. You lie and tell not the truth. You can't barbecue pork ribs and say that you have the Ruach of Yahudah. You lie. You're under a strong delusion. Yahudah told me to warn you, right? He's told me to warn you. And in warning you, you don't create friends. You don't create friends. They be like, you can't judge me. I ain't judging you. I'm telling you what the Torah says. And if you my brother, it's my responsibility to tell you what the Torah says, right? It's my job to share with you the Torah, right? You can take that as you want it. If it's a Torah that brings about a conviction, guess what? You need to repent. You need to repent and turn, right? That's just the way it is, right? So no, don't get off in that, well, you can't judge me. Okay, well, yeah. All right, you can believe that if you want to. But Yahuwah's going to tell you at that day of judgment, you had this prophet that told you this, and you literally told him that he can't judge you, but he wasn't judging you. He was using my Torah to bring about a judgment so that you would understand the necessity of turning from a thing to escape that judgment. But you didn't want to do it. You wanted to continue in the matrix. You wanted to keep sucking down the red pill, right? You didn't want the wisdom of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of Yahusha Mashiach. You didn't want the truth. You didn't want to be born again. You didn't want to have to turn away from your sin. You wanted to continue to do what you do. because of that, you're going to suffer with Babylon. Because Babylon's falling. Babylon's falling. Listen. So, this morning, Yahudah woke me up early. He didn't wake me up early. He woke me up early enough. Right? And when he woke me up, you know, I wanted to stay in bed. And so he woke me up, you know, I got up, prayed for a while in the Ruach, and, you know, just prayed. I didn't dance because, you know, he didn't tell me to dance. I just prayed for a little while, and then I was like, all right, let me go back to the bed. So I went back to bed. You said, no, I want you to get up and read. Because I need to speak to you, because you need to speak to the people. So I got up and I read. Right. And Yahudah gave me this. Yashar'Al and Yahudah, it's time to flee the whore. It's time to flee the whore. You need to make preparations to leave this whore. Right? You need to be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, because that's going to give you the relationship connection that is necessary between me and you and the Father, through the witness of Yahusha and Mashiach, that's going to provide you with instructions on how to make your exit. You know, we waiting for somebody to do something for us. We're waiting for someone to give us something. Right. Right. And if Yahusha and Yahudah has revealed to you in prayer by his Ruach of wisdom and revelation concerning the steps you need to take, follow those steps. Wait for what he says. Right? But don't sit back without a plan, because Yahudah gives you an understanding and a plan. See, he gives us, puts in us the need to establish a plan, right? But the steps that we take to complete that plan, right? Yahudah oversees if you are his. He positions you in a place where you can experience a maximum return in order to do what is necessary that you need to do. Now, Yahudah has said to flee Babylon. Right? Right? And again, you know, we understand that we came over on slave ships, and it is Mitzrayim, and of course Mitzrayim preceded Babylon, right? But it is clear, right, in the Ruach of wisdom, in the Ruach of understanding, right, in this witness, right, that there is a shifting, right, from Mitzrayim to Babylon, right? Because there was a time when in slavery and captivity, we had zero mobility. We couldn't go anywhere. It would cost us our life. We were in bondage. We were subjugated, right? We didn't have the freedom of mobility to move. Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim had us shackled and had chains about our necks, right? Right. It had those physical things that represented the limitation of our ability to move, right? We were serving a judgment, right? We were under a bondage, right? Right? And now, right, we have moved from Mitzrayim into this Babylonian captivity. There are some limitations, but Yahudah is going to give you an ability to make a hasty retreat. Yeah, he's going to give you what you need to get out. But the problem rests in our love for Babylon. We have this affinity to this wicked nation. You know, we just want its delicacies and dainties. We want the things that these heathens have. And we want it with the same degree of freedom that they have. Right? But the system is not structured, right, for you to achieve any of these things in this land unless you are sold out to them. Unless you're drinking the cup of Babylon. Unless you are engaging in her fornications, her pornonias, right. She will give you what you need to hold you here, right? But even then, with that, it comes with strings attached. You have to do as Babylon dictates, right? You know, my heart goes out to a black couple that, you know, took their life savings and bought 1,000 acres of land in Colorado, right? 1,000 acres, thinking that they were going to live the American dream. But there was no way that that was going to be possible in the lands that are the under the control of Babylon. See, because Babylon ain't going to give you what you want unless you sell out to them. They're not going to accept you. And even in their acceptance of you, there are strings attached. There are parameters that you can't go outside of. And when you lose your usefulness to them, then everything that you have, they'll take. And if you have more than what they think you have, they're going to take that. Babylon. You got to understand the nature, the diabolicalness of Babylon. Babylon is a whore. Babylon has produced a daughter. Right. Babylon is the Roman Empire that has produced a daughter. That daughter is the United States of America. Let's look at Revelations. We're going to look at Revelations, and we're going to look at a couple of scriptures. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm trying to help you, by the power of Yahuwah's Ruach, to understand that it's time to get ready for the great reveal. It's time to prepare yourself to go. If you're in this witness. Now, if you ain't in this witness and you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then don't listen to this because it don't apply to you. It's not for you. Yahuwah hasn't chosen you to hear this. Right. Because you know, everybody is not Israel. It's Israel. He's choosing people from among Jacob. He's choosing people from among Jacob, and he's extending this invitation to those amongst the other nations who choose to value the witness of Yahushua Mashiach and understand that there's Yeshua and no other name, and that by this name, that's the only way into the kingdom. But, you know, if you don't feel that this is you, then just go ahead and change channels. Move to another YouTube. Because this ain't for you. See, that's the thing, you know. Many are called, right? But few were chosen. See, and Yahuwah chose me in him, Yahushua Mashiach, from the foundation of the earth for this time, this dispensation, to be that voice that cries in the wilderness. Prepare ye the way. Well, listen. You need to get ready. You need to get ready, because listen. This Babylon's falling. Babylon's falling. Let's go. Revelations, the 17th chapter, the verse. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, talk to me, saying unto me, come hither, come here where I'm at, and I will show thee the judgment, right? The justice that is going to be served out, right? Because there's justice, right? Justice is the result. Justice is the judgment is the byproduct of justice. Something has to occur in judgment for there to be justice. And it's time for justice. Yashar'Al, Yahudah, right? It's time for justice. Right, because see, at the seat of everything is Yahuwah's relationship with the people, which are called by his name, who have been under great oppression, who has been robbed and spoiled, whose lands have been parted, who have been made a prey, who their children and the old and the young have not been honored. A people. It's a judgment. Because Yahuwah has to execute justice. He's sending out the warning, get ready. Get yourself prepared. Get yourself prepared to leave. Get yourself prepared to get out. Get ready. Because I'm about to reveal some things. I'm about to show you some things. I'm giving you opportunity to prepare, to make preparations. Here's this couple in Colorado who took their savings. Wife was a military veteran. Her and her husband saved all their money so they can buy some farmland and be farmers in Colorado, in an area where there's Christians. These believers in the earth pig. See, listen, right? Let me tell you something, right? There is no way, shape, form that there is salvation in Jesus. There is no way that there's salvation in the Lord, right? Because these wicked heathens use that, right, as a tool to put you in bondage. They use that as a tool to justify their wicked treatment to you. They don't see what they do as a violation because they believe in the earth pig and they believe in his grace. They don't believe that you are worthy of his grace. They don't believe that you are brothers in their religion. They don't even really particularly like you worshiping in the same places that they worship. That's Christianity, man. Listen. So they terrorized him. They killed his animal, right? They took, right, this man that was working as a farm worker, right? He was European. He was Caucasian, right? They shot him in the head from behind. And then they took his pants and they pulled them down past his waist. All because these Hebrews wanted the American dream. But there is no American dream. There's an American illusion for Yashar'Al and Yahudah. It's an illusion. It was never intended for us to partake in the dream. It was intended for us to build their dream. And every time we began to believe that we had a right to this dream and began to flourish and prosper, they killed us. They destroyed the dream and they took everything we had. And you know why? Because we cannot build a dream in Babylon. Can't build no dream in Babylon. Somebody said, well, you know what? We got black farmers out here that's working hard and they're producing crops. Okay. And Babylon's fallen. They're going to be judged. You can't establish anything in righteousness in the whore. She is a whore. She has nothing of value to you. She is a whore. And now, if you want to sell out to her, she'll let you partake in her dainties. She may even give you a little something. But you are going to be destroyed with her because she's a whore. And she's under judgment. She is awaiting justice. He said, come hither and I will show thee the judgment of the great whore. Now, what's a whore? Let's look at that Greek word for whore, right?
Strong's G 4204. Parne.
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 Parne, right? Porn. P-O-R-N, nay. Porne, right? So she's a whore. She's the seat of porne, right? She's the seat of porne, right? And what is porne? A woman who sells her body for sexual use, right? Now, porne is a woman in the Greek who sells her body for sexual use. This is 4204, right? Porneia is 4202, right? Any illicit sexual intercourse. Porne is 4204, right? The root word, the etymology of the root is
Strong's G 4205. Parnas. That's 42 G4205. So you got G4202 for porneia. You got G4204 porne, and you got G4205, which is the root, which is pornas.
pornos. A man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire. Right? It's the root, right? A male prostitute. A man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse or fornication. And that G4202 is fornication, right? And that's illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, homosexuality, lesbianism, right? Sex with close relatives, right? Sex with animals, porneia, right? She's a whore. The United Snakes of America is a whore. She's a whore. She's a whore because at the seat of her existence is porneia. Everything that she causes you to drink from her cup has everything to do with illicit sexual desires. Why would you want to build in Babylon? Right? When you could take that investment and go to the continent and do the same exact thing. Do the same agriculture, present the same, do the very same thing. And be blessed because that's the land that Yahudah has given to your ancestors. Porneia. Right? Right? A woman who sells her body for sexual use. A prostitute. Excuse me, a harlot. One who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain. For the sake of gain. One who sells herself for the sake of gain. You know what, right? Porneia is everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Now, you know it's all over the computer and on the internet, right? Right? But it's in TV commercials. See, because, you know, at the heart of Hollywood is Babylon. And Hollywood has everything to do with worshiping the God that, Holly, and that's like this sexual God thing. Because everything is for a reason. Porneia. A woman who sells her body for sexual use, a prostitute, a harlot, one who yields herself for defilement for the sake of gain, a woman indulging in unlawful sexual intercourse, whether for gain or for lust. Right? Babylon, i.e. Rome, the chief seat of idolatry. The whore has to die. The whore can't continue. Right? Right. Now, let's go on. He says, she sitteth upon many waters. Right? See, the whore, the daughter of the whore has influence on many continents, on many lands. She sits on the waters, right? She has her presence in many places, right? Right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Kings of the earth have sold out to the lust of this whore. This whore has toppled regimes. This whore has invaded nations. This whore's influence can be seen and felt on many continents. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made to drink with the wine of her fornication. See, now, the Catholic Church have promoted this communion. Right. This cup of fornication. This goblet, if you will, of fornication. At the seat of this whore is porneia. That's why it's visibly on display. That's why it can't be covered up. It's in her. It's who she is. In the United Snakes of America, it is who she is. It's who she is. She has affected other nations. Right? Her influence, her tentacles have reached to different countries. She has perverted the truth of Yahudah. She has changed times and dates. She has changed the name. She has profaned the name. This whore. This whore. And she's have made drunk with her perversion. Because her perversion is pervasive. Her perversion is in all the leaderships of the United States of America. Her perversion. Her perversion reaches into our homes. When we turn on our television. When we turn on our television, where they have us select from channels. So they can cast spells. She has sent forth her porneia. I've never seen so many commercials that support the porneia G4202. G4202, illicit sexual intercourse, homosexuality, lesbianism, pornonia, sex with animals, pornonia. Tentacles is reaching. You can't get away from it everywhere you go. Because she's a whore. She's a whore, and what she does is pervasive. And she's made them drunken. Because, you know, Yahudah told his sons to be careful with the consumption of alcohol to excess, because it allows Ruachs to come in and you make decisions and you do things that you would not necessarily do. But see, the spirit of the whore wants you to be drunken. She wants you to have the high life. She wants you to have the high life. She wants you to put yourself in a position to where you so consumed or involved in this whole consumption of the fruit of the vine and the grape, right, that you begin to lose your inhibitions, right, and you become the receptor of evil intentions. And all she does is she provides the program. She makes the pleasure of the overconsumption of alcohol entertainment. She's diabolical. Before you know it, you become drunk in her fornication. Partakers involved in this wickedness. See, but when you've been born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, man, and when you receive Yahuwah's witness, his Ruach on the inside of you, and you begin to keep Yahuwah's laws, statutes, and commandments, there's a zeal. My ox says today, he said, there's a zeal to keep Torah because of Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh. You can't find pleasure in that stuff no more. The blinders is off. The nature is removed. You become a righteous, new, clean vessel. And having achieved this, now there's this desire to want to do and be right. See, and it's hard to be in Babylon. It's time to go. It's time to go. Time to flee. Right? So he carried me away in the Ruach into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet-colored beast. She's always arrayed in bright red. Right? She has this attractive, vibrant thing. You know, it's funny because, you know, it's the whole idea of red. Right? This red dress, this red lipstick, this red that pulls you in to this idea of this way of thinking. She dresses in a color that she knows is alluring. It pulls you into her. She puts on her best filters. She uses her best witchcraft. She uses those things that she knows that is subtle, but if you entertain them enough and if you are under the influence, guess what? She got you. She'll get you. She sits upon a scarlet colored beast. I saw a woman upon a scarlet colored beast, so the beast was red, but the woman in red. you know, and for the children of Yashar'Al, you know, we don't, you know, lipstick ain't. But when you put red lipstick on, now Europeans, you know, the red dress, right? He said, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So she's full of blasphemy. Right? Now what is blasphemy? Right? What is blasphemy in the Greek? Blasphemy is
Strong's G 988, blasphemia.
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 Slander. There's nothing wrong with pornography. Distractions. She uses distractions to draw you in. She distracts you from the right and pulls you into the wrong. Speech, she's injurious. She says things to hurt you. To hurt your feelings. She tries to destroy the good name of others. She's impious. She's reproachful in speech, injurious in divine majesty. Listen, right? I don't watch much TV. I kind of watch YouTube documentaries most of the time. I mean, I rarely, unless there's a movie that I want to watch because there's something that I think that I want to get from it, right, and see if that is in it, right? But other than that, I'm mostly YouTube, right? Documentaries, and then even with that, you know, you have these people who have established their own idea and perspective on history, so you have to have the Ruach architects to be able to rightfully discern, right? But you know, there's African content that I like to listen to because, you know, I like to know what's happening in our country, in our nations. I want to know, right? I want to know. I want to hear, right? But you know, you begin to see, right? Because there's different things that pop up every now and then. You see these arrogant, haughty, Babylonian prostitute harlots, right, talking and speaking in manners in which they are impious, they are injurious in their speech, right, they are slanderers, right, what they say is reproachful. Because they entertain. They have drank from the cup of the whore. See, the children of the daughters of Zion are distinct from the daughters of Hasatan. Daughters of Zion are distinct. The daughters of Zion find their pleasure in the things of Yahudah. Right? The daughters of Zion that are married find their fulfillment in the pleasing of their husband, the leading of their children, the support and the strength of the undergirding of the home. Right. Right. The daughters of Hasatans are interested in being in TikTok queens and this Instagram queens. They're interested in likes. Right. Interested in who's liking my content. They have been deceived by Babylon. And they go forward to deceive. They sell themselves. They present themselves as whores. And you got Catamites too. It's not just the daughters of Zion, right? These are the men of Yahudah, strutting around and doing what Yahudah said not to do. And making it a thing of pleasure. Making it something that everybody should want to aspire to. Babylon. The wickedness of Babylon. Right? It's painting a picture for you so that you understand that there is nothing here in this nation that is deserving and worthy of you planting your seeds and trying to produce a harvest in a land that he has called you to flee. Futile. A land that he slated for destruction. A land that he has all intentions of destroying. He says, so he carried me away in this Ruach, verse 3 of 17th chapter, into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit up on a scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, right? So these are the divisions of kings and governments, kings and leaders, right? And the woman was arrayed in purple. Now she got on royalty, right? Right? She got royalty. That's the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholic Church tentacles have reached to all of these different heads of states and nations and countries. Right? Right? Now, this woman is arrayed in purple and scarlet color. She looked like wealth. She looks like wealth. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand. Tell me that ain't the Pope. Tell me that ain't the Catholic Church. See, the Catholic Church, the Pope, the beast has daughters. America is a daughter. She is a beast. She's going down. She's going to be sacrificed. having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations. He's wicked. He's wicked. He's wicked. Yahusha says they have profaned my name. The heathen. And Yashar'Al profaned it first, but the heathen profaned his name. They literally took this Torah, this Besorah, this renewed covenant, and created a doctrine with an earth pig. They changed the image, they changed the names, and they created this thing that they took throughout the world. That's why they're the leading religion now. And Christianity is a spawn. Right? Christianity is a spawn. Christianity in the Catholic Church is that spawn that's going to be sacrificed because it's Babylon. It's still Babylon. It's still a part of the horse system. That's why in Christianity you can see these pornonia things in abundance. What was his name? Long? Eddie Long? Is that Eddie Long? Big pastor of church. Having sex with young men. Pornonia. It's pornonia. He says here, she was arrayed, full of fornication, full of abominations. Matter of fact, let's look at abomination in the Greek.
Strong's G 946. Bedelugma. Bedelugma.
Bedeluma, right? A foul thing. And detestable thing. It's foul. You know, pornonia is foul. It's detestable. It's foul. It's detestable. Pornonia G4202 Strong's Blue Letter Bible. Illicit sexual intercourse having to do with fornication, having to do with homosexuality, having to do with gender change, having to do with sex with close relatives. Tell me how that is not pornonia. Foul thing, a detestable thing. See now, these things are weighed against Torah. Because Torah is the standard. But in the Christian church, they tell you Torah is done away with. So all you have to have is faith in the earth pig. And trust him no matter what you do, no matter how much you do it, that if you just ask him to forgive you, right, then you got a free pass and you don't even have to worry about keeping the Torah. See this whore, Babylon? Right? She wants you to do what you do. The whore is not against Christian church. The whore created Jesus. Letter J didn't come into existence till the 1400s. So his name was not J. There was no J. J is not a recognizable letter in the Hebrew, right? Not even, right? And his name was not Jesus. His name was not Jesus or Jesus, right? Because that's not a transliteration. In order to transliterate it or to translate it, it has to be correct from the Hebrew. The name Yahusha is Yah's salvation, right? Right? Yesu or Jesus, E is earth. Su is pig. See, it's detestable. Of idols, of things pertaining to adultery. Blasphemy, right? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colors, royalty. And again, that scarlet, man, something about red, decked with gold and precious stones. Excuse me. Babel. He says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a gold cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness. Filthiness. In the Greek.
Strong's G 168. Akathartes.
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 Akathartes. Impurity, filthiness. He says impurity, a state of morally filthy. Right? So if you're suggesting that something is morally filthy, there has to be a standard by which it is weighed against. The only standard that you weigh filthiness against is Torah, because Torah is the standard. The only things that the apostles and the prophets preached and taught that brought the conversion of the Mashiach was the Torah. And Shaul showed where in the volume of the book Yahusha Mashiach was. And this is Yehukanah. Yehukanah, mercy. Filthiness. We talk about the whore. The whore. Now, let's go on. A couple more verses, right? Having in her filthiness and her fornication. Right? Again, fornication is
Strong's G 4202. Parnaya.
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 G 4204 is porne. Right? G 4205 is porni. They're all ascribed to the whore. G4202, illicit sexual intercourse. Strong's Blue Letter Bible Concordance. King James translated Strong's G4202. In the following manner: fornication, illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, sexual intercourse with close relatives, sexual intercourse with a divorced man or a divorced woman, catamite, sexual relationship with a minor boy. G42. Jeez. Fornication. Babylon is riddled with fornication. You have been programmed to become anesthetized to fornication. Fornication is presented in cartoons that our kids watch. Not my kids are grown. Pornonia is presented in TV. You know, there was a time, right, that there were certain things that they didn't even say on the television, right? But they had to gradually work you up to the place, right, where you were conditioned to accept it. You had to be gradually brought to a place of acceptance, right? So they used their witchcraft, their programming, right? Where you was able to receive spells from different channels. And now they have 5G'd you. Send you radio waves. And you know these outlets are all under the control of Ashkenaz. Radio, TV, movies. I was listening to B'nai Israel, done it again. He done it again. Looking at another one of his Hidden Hebrew series, right? Sure, I'm pulling it up. Where is it at? Let me see. Anyway, he talks about how the clan was no more than the Ashkenaz. How the original birth of a nation was used to create this spell. He didn't call it a spell, but what it was a spell. Right? Because the people opened themselves up to receiving this transmission. And they made money. That set the precedence, right, of this move to destroy the Hebrews. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Babylon is wicked. She is a whore. She is a diabolical whore. And you know what? She can't stand us. She wants us destroyed. But she also wants the numbers of her people reduced. They want you dead. See, Yashar'Al, Yahudah is telling you to get ready, because, you know, it's time to exit stage left. It's time to go back home to the continent. See, because they've told you lies. They've programmed you to believe a certain thing. And they've used your people in the United States of America to help facilitate this. These negative stereotypes of our own people on the continent, right? Right, come up with these terms, these slanderous terms that we have gotten from Babylon, that are negative towards our people, our race of people on the continent, the nation. You want to go back there, you know, they steal. They steal in the United States of America. And they steal in the United States of America. They do everything they do here, they do in the United States of America, but at least over on the continent, you are in your land. And you can own your land. You can farm your land. You can sell what you have on your land. You imagine having 1,000 acres on the continent of Africa. What you can do, what you can provide, you know, what you can sell, what you can to your people. And you ain't got to worry about them shooting you, killing you. No, they're going to respect you as you respect them on the continent. He said, listen. Filthiness and fornication. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, the mother of harlotry. America was that experiment. America is that piece of harlotry. America is Babylon. See, and America's influence has reached to Haiti, South America, Argentina, Venezuela, the DRC, the Americas, Canada, and Africa, and the Middle East, or what they call the Middle East, rebranded it, the Middle East. Her influence is in the continent of Africa, establishing puppet regimes, pulling regimes down and putting up people that are favorable to her, that will assist in the raping of the land. She's a whore. She's a harlot. Torah, the Bethor. She is the abomination of the earth, right? So this is Babylon, right? We get it. We're getting a glimpse of Babylon, right? So as a nation of people having this understanding of how diabolical this nation is, right? See, we who are in the United States of America have a record of what is done to us in these United States. We have a record. It doesn't matter what place, capacity we served, role we paid in. It does not matter. There is a track record that we have with these people. And these people who have seized this country and who run this country, these diabolical people do not have Yashar'Al and Yahudah's interest at heart. And now they really don't have even the Gentiles' interest at heart. You know, because they'll kill them and they'll Maxine them, Aberdeen them, and Jolene them. They'll because they have an agenda. See, but you has a vested interest in you because of your forefathers. He has a vested interest in you because he has an established covenant that he made with Avraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob. See, he wants you to wake up because he needs you to go back and fulfill prophecy on the continent. He needs you to go back so he can bring two sticks together. Because you understand the diabolical nature of these people. He doesn't want you to sit here and make roots. He don't want you to sit here and build business. If he's called you to wake up and you have received his witness, his Ruach HaKodesh, he wants you to go home. He wants you to go home as that remnant. He wants you to go home as remnant. Let's look at Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. Right. Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. Right. It says, the word of Yahudah spake against Babylon. So we understand what Babylon looks like. We know she's a fornicating, pornonia G4202, G4204, G4205. We know she's a fornicator. Strong's, New King James Version, Strong's, Blue Letter Bible Concordance number G4202, G4204, and G4205. Right? We know the word of Yahudah came and spake against Babylon. Now, you know there was a time that he had brought judgment to Babylon during the time of the prophets. Right? We know that it happened before. But see, we also understand that Yahudah repeats itself. Or things that occur have occurred before and they're going to occur again. The word of Yahudah spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah Yahu the prophet. Declare among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish. Conceal not. Say to Babylon, say Babylon is taken. Babylon is taken. Excuse me, Babylon must fall. Babylon is slated for destruction. Send the word forth, because it's going to happen. Because I've spoken it, you. And you, the prophet, must declare it because it's going to happen. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for the great reveal. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for the great reveal. Hear the word of Yahudah. It's time to go. Hear the word of you. It's time to go. He said, publish it. Publish it, declare it, make it known. Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Babylon is taken. Right? Right? Bel is confounded. That was Bel. Right?
Strong's H 1078. Baal.
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 Right? Baal equals Lord. Hebrew. Baal equals Lord or the Lord. See, so riddle me this. If they recognized that the Strong's Concordance number was H 1078, it meant Baal, right? 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 Which was a Babylonian deity, right? Right? Why would the translators put everywhere where Yahuwah's name is, they would put Baal? Because it was never Baal in the original text, not in Hebrew. But they know Baal equals Lord. Yet when they transcribed it, everywhere it was Lord, everywhere it was Yahuwah, or Adonai, or Adonai, Elohim, or not Elohim. Anywhere it was ever translated in his original name. They translated it Bel. Why? After Babylonian deity. He said, declare among the nations and publish it and set up a standard. Publish, conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken. Baal, their God, is confounded. I mean, that's just like a mockery. That's like you would say, okay, Baal is confounded. He wasn't able to do that. Baal is confounded because he can't do nothing. And that's why the Lord can't do nothing. That's why Jesus can't do nothing. That's why there's no power in the earth pig. That's why there's no power in Baal. He's confounded. Metrodoc is broken in pieces. That's another L, right? This is how you pronounce it in the Hebrew.
Strong's H 4781. Merodach.
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 It is Merodach, thy rebellion, the chief deity of Babylon in the time of Nebuchadnezzar. The chief god of Babylon. in Nebuchadnezzar's time. Marduk. Marduk. What happened to him? He's confounded. The God of wisdom. Is confounded. Babylon. He says, it's broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. You know, they were saying, I'm listening to some writings or listening to some documentaries on YouTube in reference to Baal and in reference to Nebuchadnezzar and when Persia came in and took Babylon, right? How the men of Babylon, to save their women and children from this wickedness that they've done to the other nations, right? The wickedness that they did to destroy the nation, even Israel when he took his captivity and things they did, right? They strangled their women and their children in order to prevent them from having to suffer. Because they suffered in the same manner they did to the nation of Yashar'Al. Because the judgment came because of what they did to the nation of Yashar'Al. Right? That's why they suffered the judgment. They got nothing to do with the world. Had everything to do with Israel. And because Yahudah said that when you turn, and he gave them an opportunity to make it right. Yahudah knew it was going to be 70 years. And it was 70 years. Right? But Babylon, Persia came in. Crushed them. Daniel prophesied to Nebuchadnezzar and how Nebuchadnezzar was reduced to walking on floor for all fours, having hair grow out from his whole body and having claws on the end of his feet and his hands, eating grass. Yeah. And then once that time of the prophecy was up, he came back to himself because he lost his mind. Because what he was doing in relationship to the sacred cups. I believe it was the sacred cups. And things that were dedicated unto you. He was just defiling them and he was having a big party. Broken pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her desolate. See, now you gotta understand, right? Yahudah is going to come up. Right? He's going to send somebody that's going to do damage to the United States. She's Babylon. She's a daughter of Babylon. See, because that's Babylon. But this is the daughter. It's the daughter of Babylon. She is everything Babylon was and more. He says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation great, cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, and they shall depart, both man and beast. Listen. When Yahudah brings judgment, upon the United States of America, it's going to be desolate. There ain't going to be nothing running up around in here. In a day, he going to shake it up. Just like he did before, he going to shake the foundations. He going to listen. And you better get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Exit stage left. You better get ready, because listen, you better understand, right? This is not the nation to build in. This is not the nation to build in, right? He says, and none shall dwell therein, and shall remove they shall depart, both man and beast. Right? Because we know that when Persian being came in and did their thing, man, that whole area has become desolate. There's some historical remains there, but you know, that was a judgment. This whore is about to be judged again. In those days and at that time, saith Yahudah, the children of Yashar'Al shall come, and the children of Yahudah together, going and weeping, and they shall go and seek Yahudah their allure. They leave. Weeping. If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Repenting. Turning to faith in the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach. Being born again. Going back to the land. They shall go and seek Yahudah their allure. Seek Yahudah their allure. Seeking the Most High. Listen. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Listen, I'm going to the continent seeking the Most High Yahudah. I'm going home. I'm going home. Because home ain't where Ashkenaz is. That ain't home. Yeah, that ain't home. He says, in that day, in those days, and in that time, saith Yahudah, the children of Yashar'Al shall come, they and the children of Yahudah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahudah their allure. They going. They fleeing. And they shall ask the way to Zion, with their faces therewith towards. Look, we going home. Where's home? Where are the people of you? Because you know, Zion is not just a city. Zion is a people. Where are the people of Zion? Where is the place of Zion? Where is it? We going. Look, I'm going to Canada. Where's Zion? They shall ask the way to Zion, with their faces thitherwards. Come, and let us join ourselves to Yahuwah in perpetual covenant, shall not be broken. Come, man, listen. Let's become born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Let's remain and continue and dwell in this covenant that Yahuwah has established with his people. Being born again. Perpetual covenant. Yahuwah ain't gonna forget this. Not when you become born again of the water of Ruach HaKodesh. You become his. That's a covenant. He's perpetually has established this covenant with you. Right? He says, it shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to stray. Caused them to stray. TD fakes. Your Eddie Longs. Your Paul Mortons. Because they got you believing in Baal. They got you serving the earth pig. Creflo steal your dollar. He says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherd has caused them to stray. They have turned them away. They've turned them away from Torah. Turn them away from Torah. The mountains, they have gone from mountains. Turn them away, the mountains. They have gone from mountains to hills. They have forgotten their resting place. They forgot Torah. They forgot Mount Zion. We've been robbed and spoiled. These boule got us constantly looking to get civil rights. These sellout pastors have bought into the politics because their politics is their new religion. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces towards thitherwards. Come and let us join ourselves to Yahuwah. Let us enter this witness. Let us become born again of the water, the Ruach HaKodesh, in this perpetual covenant. What is a perpetual covenant? Right? Perpetual in the
Strong's
Hebrew.
H 5769. Olam.
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 It means long duration, right? And futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, ancient. That's in the witness of Yahusha HaMashiach. That's the only way you're going to enter into that covenant. It's through faith in HaMashiach, which is established for an eternity. Yeshua in Yahusha HaMashiach is to eternal life, which makes that covenant perpetual, eternal, everlasting. Shall not be forgotten. No. Yahuwah knows who you are and he'll never forget you. right? He says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away from the mountains. They have gone from the mountains to the hills. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them. Used you as a prey to make their millions and billions. Money cometh. Woman, thou art loosed. You can have what you say. They've devoured you. They've made merchandise of you. They've molested your sons and your daughters. They've committed fornications with your wives and your husbands. They've caused them to be drunken with fornication because they themselves have sold out to this beast system. All that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not because they have sinned against Yahudah. We ain't doing nothing wrong because they have sinned against Yahudah. You know, they the one that broke covenant with Yahudah. We just benefiting from it. They won't choose to walk in disobedience. They made the choice to follow the earth pig. They made the choice to pray to Baal in the name of the earth pig. We just getting fat off it. He said, we offend you not because we didn't sin, they sinned. Against Adonai, against Yahudah, the inhabitants of justice, even Yahudah, the hope of their fathers. See, y'all sinned against Yahudah. Your forefathers sinned against Yahudah. Right? You know, we exercising the plan of Baal. We for fulfilling the desires of the earth pig. Heck, we giving you pork. We're giving you scrimps. We giving you Halloween and Easter. We giving you Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, you chose to violate that Torah. You know, you choose to believe that it's been done away with. You choose to believe that you can do all kinds of pornography and think that Yahuwah is going to, you know, forgive you. Because you want to continually perpetuate this pornography, this fornication. You know, Yahuwah's going to forgive you. He's going to just usher you in. He's going to rapture you up. This is what he says. Verse 8 of that 50th chapter. Remove out of the midst of Babylon. Remove and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees, which was Babylon, in Babylon. And be as the goats before the flock. Be the goats before the flock. Look, I'm leaving Babylon. I'm going to be the goat before the flock. He says, remove out of the midst. So what does it mean to remove? Right? What's that Hebrew word? Right?
Strong's H 5110. Nude.
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 Nude. It means to shake, to waver, to wander, to move to and fro, to show grief, to have compassion on. To move to or fro, wander, right? To take flight, right? to take flight. Right? To take flight. Yahudah ain't never sending you, telling you to go anywhere in this witness, right? To go forth in this witness. Excuse me. Aimlessly. He's giving you his Ruach HaKodesh in this witness, which is designed to lead you and to guide you. Right? But you have to take flight. And I'm going to take a flight to the continent. I'm going to take a flight to the continent. Take flight. Right? To take flight is to flee. Right? Right? Can we agree? To take flight is to flee. He said, remove. To remove means to take flight. Of the midst. Okay, now let's look at this. Of the midst.
Strong's H 8432. Tavech. Tavech.
It means the midst, the middle. The midst, the middle. Into thorough, right? Among, all right? So you're talking about in the midst, among, all right? To come from among, to separate, right? Separate from among a nation. Of people. See, because, you know, if he gonna send judgment to the place, right? It's not just enough to come out from among a city and go into the fields, right? You know, you can ask that man in Colorado that. Him and his wife. They left the city, saved up their money to buy 1,000 acres in the field. And that's Colorado. That's like a Christian community kind of thing. Everybody in that community is of the European persuasion. Right? I've done my research before about that property. 1,000 acres. I would have spent some time in the community, kind of get a feel for what's going on over there. But that's because I got the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh ain't gonna tell me to build in Babylon anyway, so I ain't doing it. You know, no, I'm not selling this house to buy another house in the continental United States of America. Why? No. I'm going to continent. Right? So, and when I say I mean we. Hopefully we. The expectation is we. Hopefully we're not any resistance. Not no resistance, you know. So, he says here, he's removed from the midst of who? Of Babylon. And go forth, go from, right? Go forth, that is H.
Strong's H 3318.
3318.
Yatsah.
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 Yatsah. To go out, to come out, to exit, to go forth, to come out, or forth, to depart. Excuse me for a second. There's a missing persons alert. To go forth. Right? So, it's specific and direct. It's not left for or subject to interpretation. To depart. He said to remove yourself, which means to take flight, right? And then he says to you, Yashar'Al, means to exit, to go forth, to depart from, right? Right? To leave out, to bring out, to lead out, right? To deliver. The lands of Babylon, Chaldees, which was in Babylon, right? And to be as the goat before the flocks. Listen, Yashar'Al and Yahudah, it's time to get out of the whore. It's time to prepare, make preparations to depart this whore. Right? There is nothing that we can build in the nation of this whore. And don't let nobody trick you in believing that the only safe place that you have is with them in this whore. Don't let nobody trick you into bringing your life savings together to bunker and hunker down in the land of Babylon. You wasting your money. Take what you have, sell it all, fire sale. Exit stage left. Be that goat. Be as the goat before the flock. We gonna stop here. Man of Yah, woman of Yah. Yahuwah has called us to get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. We already know this place is a place of whores. We already know that Babylon is the United Snakes of America. We already know that United Snakes of America was Mitzrayim. Right? There was no escaping bondage at one point in this nation. We know that in this United Snakes of America, right, there was a time when we could not get away. And granted, we who have received this witness and been born again of water and Ruach, they can't physically do nothing to us. But see, we have the wherewithal and the understanding to know that we need to leave. And see, I have the understanding and the know-withal that I'm going to preach this witness. I'm going to tell you it's time to go. I'm going to tell you that Babylon is falling. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you Babylon is falling. I'm going to tell you. Right? Hezekiah has told you too. Dekar Abar told you. Listen, it's time to get out. We know who we are. We who have been born again in this witness, it's time to go. Trying to stay here, build no bunkers and dig no trenches and, you know, no, I'm going home. I'll take mine and go home. I'll bank on the continent. I'll go over there thinking and crying and looking to Yahuwah, say, Yahuwah, where is Zion? Where do I go? Where do I put my feet at? And I'm gone. I'm gone. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, this is Shabbat. And I pray right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach that your word will go out, not return it to you void, but that your word will accomplish everything you have sent it forth to do. Babylon is fallen. You told me to warn the people that they must be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. They must get in this witness. They must get in this ark, this protection that comes in this witness. But then they have to move an imunah and trust you to flee Babylon. Yahudah, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, open up the way. Make provisions for those that are in this witness who want to go. Yahudah, make a way. Make a way, Yahudah. Make a way. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I pray. Yahudah, bring it to pass. Bring it to pass. Bring it to pass. Bring it to pass. Yahudah, I pray. I pray. I pray. Yahudah, I pray. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Yahudah, my strength and my redeemer. Man, Yah went down today. Woman of Yahudah, beautifully and wonderfully made, it went down today. Yahudah has brought a word for you to hear and to receive. It's only for the chosen. It's only for the chosen. Those who want to receive his witness. And you will be blessed. With that I say, listen, man of Yah, woman of Yah, called the greatest. Women of Yahudah, queens, daughters of Zion, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today Yahudah has favored you. Be blessed on this Shabbat. Rest in Yahudah. Listen, ain't nothing the devil can do to us. He can't do anything to us. But that don't mean that we sit here and stay. That don't mean we bunker and hunker down and find a place and all of that madness. That don't mean we start buying new cars and buying all of this stuff. No. We take what we got, prepare us, get out. In the name of Yahushua. Listen, hear the word of Yahudah. Be blessed.
Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.